Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to TVT. This is a special night, Shabbat. We get together to celebrate Shabbat, and we try to convert this night of Friday in a night of Shabbat. And probably the best way to do that is by trying to connect to what we are doing here. Trying to connect to the Siddur, trying to connect to the voices of those that are singing next to us, and enjoying the joy of being together, of being community, and celebrating as a community. We will start this night of Shabbat, lighting Shabbat candles on page 120, and I'd like to invite Mariela and Julia to light Shabbat candles. Shabbat Shalom. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. On this night, to feel fortunate and deeply loved when we welcome Shabbat. It is then that we can say, I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. Ani ledodi, bedodi li, on page 129. On Shabbat, we experience in harmony our bond with the world. We bring our voices with joy. We lift up our spirits and become every week anew partners in the creative action. We sing Lechuner Anena on page 130, followed by Shirula Adonai on page 131.
Lechuner Anena.
Adonai.
this transformative spirit of Shabbat, each of us, with his own sound, become a melody. So, Amru Adonai v'chinor on page 134.
Samru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar, hariyu lifnei hamelech
Come to greet Shabbat. After a week of yearning, we gather again. We celebrate with the senses of excitement and awe that we have when we turn to welcome a bride. As we transform this night of Friday into a Shabbat, into a bride, Lechadodi Likrat Kala. Activity we sing the first, the second, the fifth, the sixth, and the ninth verses of Lechadodi. And in the night we get up and we face the door, that one, like the bride was coming and walking into our sanctuary, into our midst. We have welcomed Shabbat, so it's time to welcome each other. So you can turn to the person sitting next to you and say Shabbat Shalom. Sevi, Shabbat Shalom. This is off. It's off. I don't think. Oh. Did you say? You say Shabbat Shalom? That's good. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Yes. Shabbat is among us, and at this point, each of us try to find Shabbat for his, for her own soul. Stop for a second before we move into Mariv, and we dedicate to Shabbat a wonderful song, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, on page 140.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור.
You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm, they thrive like cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God.
צדיק אתה מר יפרח, כארץ בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולאוהב לתעבור.
And we move to the gate between Kabbalat Shabbat and Arbit Shel Shabbat on page 144, Hetzi Kaddish.
Yitkadash, Shamei Rabban, Yalmadi Frachi Rute, Yamichal Hute, V'chayehonu Yomevon, U'chayenu Chol Ben Yisrael, Bahagala, Bahagala, Ubizman Karim, Vayavaru, Amen. Ve'ishmera ba'mevorach, le'olam olam ve'avaya, Yitvarach, Yitvarach ve'yishtavar, Yitvar v'troma minaseh, V'yirarar, v'yiraleh, v'yiralal, Shmeir Kudeshah, Richum, Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, U'shechata v'nehemata, Namiran ve'ava, Ve'yavaru,
Amen. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. And the blessing gives us strength and makes our visions clear. And the blessing gives us peace and the courage to dare. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. On page 146, Baruch. Please rise. You may be seated. For those that were in the Torah boot camp this week, you know that when I ask you to sit immediately after this blessing, it makes a big difference. Now, if you want to know, you should find those that were in the Torah boot camp and ask them. On page 148, we read together in English. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the times and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Baruch Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Arabim. I'm focusing in a deep love. We turn the Siddur to page 150 for Abbat Olam, the blessing before the Shema.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim,
Otanu
לימדת, אותנו לימדת.
על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו וקומנו להשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. close your eyes and take a deep breath. And tap the page and find your own time to join for Shema Israel. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Turn our Sidurim to page 154. We chant together.
ואתה אל אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאור על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue with the reading in silence over page 156. When your children witnessed your presence, they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and the people of Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices. Who is like you, our God? Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, on page 158. יהלום יחסי ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גואל ישראל. And from the redemption in Mika Mocha, we move to the prayer for our inner peace. We try to find, not just in Shabbat, every day, some silence with Ashkiveinu on page 160.
Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai,
Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim,
ufros aleinu. Sukkot shomecha,
ותקננו בעצה, טוב מלפניך. אשתיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. אשתיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שומרך, ותקננו בעצה, טוב מלפניך. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. This choir night. You are refusing to use the mics, but it's you. On page 162, we remember our transgenerational
Sefatativ tagufia hitilatena. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Baruch ata Adonai, hamevarech et amo Israel beshalom.
Oh, say shalom, shalom imrama. Hallelujah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, va'imru amen. Hallelujah, say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom imrama. Hallelujah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, va'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael,
At the end of our Tfilat Amidah, we keep our hearts open for one more second for those that are in need of healing, those that are in time of illness. If you have a name that you like to share tonight, please do so. There are many people, so just bring them to the space. Say out loud. We turn our hearts and our intentions to them, and we sing together on page 371, Misheverach. רפואה שלמה מן השמיים. May God bless them with a complete and fast recovery. Shalom. Sim shalom. So we are going to, we added Sim Shalom. So you sing, and then we start with the speeches.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha, Sim shalom, Sim shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha, Sim shalom, Sim shalom. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha, Sim shalom, Sim shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha, Sim shalom, Sim shalom.
Just so that we really understand why we're here tonight, I'm going to ask Natalie Wurtzer, our education director, to come up with a gift for Rabbi Nico. I think you need to come up too.
Oh my gosh, this is too sweet.
The staff and children created a poster, a placard that you can put somewhere in your office or outside your
will.
office. It says, "We love Rabbi Nico." And they spelled shalom with their bodies. So we do a lot of alphabet yoga as well. So this is something to welcome you to our community, the ECLC community. However, I'd like to think we welcomed you a long time ago, not starting tonight.
I hope you keep welcoming me.
We'll see.
Let's keep the status quo.
We just want to thank you for your guidance, your presence, your warmth, and your collaboration with our preschool. And I'll make it short and sweet. I just found one sentence from tonight's service that I'd like to read. It says that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. So we thank you, and we adore you, and Shabbat Shalom.
I adore you back. It's so wonderful. Let's show it. You have to see this. It's too sweet. And we have two heroes that made it to 8 p.m. One is my daughter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hug me. Don't kiss me. I'm.
Congratulations.
We're not going to diamond with pictures here. Okay, fine. But we don't put pictures.
So that's just a reminder on why we're here. We're here for Shabbat, but we're here for our children. Tonight we celebrate our Jewish community with this rabbinic installation on this holiest of Jewish holidays, Shabbat. We reaffirm our personal commitment with our people, Am Yisrael, and affirm our community's covenant with a new religious leader, our Rav, Rabbi Nicholas Sokolovsky. As is appropriate in our heritage, we divide this Shabbat into three meaningful moments of celebration and, if you will, three meals. First, tonight, we celebrate our rich past, the circumstances that brought us here, the people we now call family, and the life cycle events that drew us near. We celebrate the lives of those who no longer sit next to us in these pews, but are in our hearts. Those images provide the energy and commitment we need to ensure the fulfillment of our dreams for this community. They bring meaning to our lives from previous generations and to ours as well. Second, tomorrow morning we celebrate our partnership with Rabbi Nico and the joint commitment we make to our synagogue. We acknowledge the new energy of our clergy, our reorganized professional staff, the enthusiastic board of directors and trustees, and committee members who have made this Shabbat celebration possible. And third, Saturday night, we discuss our dreams for the future and how we intend to make things happen. The investments in things like music enhancement, capital projects for beautification, young family engagement, youth education and innovation, these things are not paid for from our annual philanthropic gifts. We have always relied on legacy and endowment giving, IRA distributions, and restricted fund giving to give us and to allow us new directions. But more of that tomorrow. Right now, to start that process, I would like to ask Elise Kirshen to come up, our past president and co-chair of our search committee, to tell her story of community, service, and her vision for the future.
Shabbat Shalom. When David and I, along with a 1-year-old, moved to Orange County in 1978, one of our first priorities was to find a Jewish community. Never in our wildest dreams did we imagine the impact that this Jewish community would have on our lives and on the lives of our 3 children. Shortly after we joined TBT with number 2 on the way, the doctor ordered me to stay off my feet for the next 6 months. For those of you who know me, I didn't take that suggestion very easily and wondered how I would survive. Within a few days, some ladies of the sisterhood began calling with offers of help and appearing at my door with meals. I was overwhelmed at the generosity of these women who I barely knew. 36 years later, these women, along with a lot of ECLC families, remain my closest of friends, and shared Shabbat dinner with me tonight. It is a deep commitment to our very special TBT community that empowers me and keeps me engaged in Jewish life in Orange County and beyond. And it is this same commitment that pushed me to say yes against my better judgment when asked to serve as co-chair of the Rabbi Search Committee. So I stand here tonight as a proud past president of TBT, as a proud member of the URJ North American Board of Directors, but most important, as a proud member of the Rabbi Search Committee. The Search Committee convened in July 2014. Emails, phone calls, research, and meetings filled hours and hours each week for over a year. The Board of Trustees, under Sam Prume's leadership, developed an extensive survey we sent you via email. Our interim rabbi facilitated multiple gatherings and focus groups. We heard that our members love the warm, Hamish feeling here at Temple Beth Tikva, and that they considered Temple Beth Tikva their home, and fellow Temple members more like family than friends. Yet our members yearned for more spirituality, more young families, new education for children and adults, and innovative programs. So we began. The Central Conference of American Rabbis required the search committee to post our 3 most important qualities for the next rabbi. With the input of over 150 congregants, we finally agreed on 3 very, very simple qualities. Number 1, we wanted someone with strong interpersonal skills. Someone who can relate to people of all ages, develops rapport easily, someone who is caring, welcoming, compassionate, perceptive, comforting, and approachable. Number 2. We were looking for someone who is passionate about Judaism and Israel, and energetic, engaging, outgoing, charismatic, enthusiastic, and who would inspire others to reach higher. Number 3, someone who was well-rounded, had a strong pulpit presence, loved teaching children and adults, wanted to meet the needs of individual members, was scholarly and wise, yet humble and open to input. Basically, we were looking for the Messiah. Then we had to agree on 3 priorities for our new rabbi. First, we agreed we needed leadership and guidance for our professional staff and our lay leaders. Second was to build community by establishing relationships, expanding outreach efforts, creating ruach, and engaging diverse congregants of all ages in social, spiritual, and educational experiences. And third, to be a catalyst for change by offering innovative, creative approaches to spirituality and learning, and to guide our members to discover the importance and relevance of Judaism in their lives. No small task. So after reviewing dozens, literally, of applications from candidates across the United States, we had nearly exhausted our resources. And miraculously, in January of 2015, the application of Rabbi Nico Sokolovsky surfaced, all the way from Singapore via Argentina and Israel. We met on Skype, sort of like J-Date, all hours of the night. And Rabbi Nico seemed to have almost all of the qualities we were seeking. He proved to be caring, welcoming, compassionate, perceptive, comforting, approachable, energetic, engaging, and charismatic. Most definitely, he was scholarly and wise, yet humble and open. And Rabbi Nico certainly has inspired us to reach higher and seek spirituality. Our Messiah had been found. In this week's Torah portion, Moses reminds the Jewish people never to forget that it was God who took them out of Egypt and led them through the wilderness into the promised land. Rabbi Nico is our Moses. In a covenant with God, he is leading our TBT community to greater heights. Albert Schweitzer once said, "In everyone's life, at some time, our inner light goes out. It is then ignited by an encounter with another human being. Each of us owes the deepest thanks to those who have rekindled this inner spirit." So I personally want to say Toda Rabba, Nico, for rekindling my inner spirit. Temple Beth Shikva is blessed by the presence of Rabbi Nico and his family as we join in a covenant and strong spiritual partnership. To Rabbi Nico, Noga, Amitai, Nitzan, and Gilad, Baruch Habaim, welcome home.
I am embarrassed. But at least you are extremely sweet. I love you. Now let's make sure that I didn't forget my speech. I was actually listening to you, so I didn't check that. I do have it. And I do have, wait a second. So we have a few copies. We know that there are people that they struggle to hear. So if you need a copy of what I'm going to say, you can find it right here. And I do not promise to follow what is written, but you will get a general idea. I also don't promise to pronounce right all what is written. But, you know, I'm not very used to speaking my Divrei Torah. Who is that baby? Smile. So, I'm not very used to stand here and speak about myself. But I was asked, and as a part of the idea of this Shabbat, to present myself, to share a little bit about where I came from. So here I am. The night of November 9, 1938, Kristallnacht, was a night of a horrible pogrom in Germany, where Nazis attacked and vandalized synagogues, Jewish schools, institutes, and Jewish homes throughout the country. One of those institutes was the Hochschule für die Wissenschaft des Judentum in Berlin, which was operating as an academic institute for Jewish studies and as a rabbinical seminary. Many Hochschule students were present that night. Teachers and students alike were paralyzed with fear. Cries of death to the Jews were heard. Windows were smashed. Stones were thrown at a dizzying rate, and they all thought that their end was near. Rabbi Liobek, the very well-known leader of liberal Judaism, took control within the building. He gathered the students and teachers together and ordered them to each pick up a stone that had been thrown from outside. In an authoritative voice, he said, "We swear today that each one of us takes one stone thrown by these people who persecute us, and at the first chance we can, escape and settle in other countries, and each stone will become the cornerstone of a synagogue or a Jewish school." One of the disciples, I get emotional. One of the disciples who was standing there that night arrived in Argentina holding one of that stones. His name was Rabbi Hans Harf. During the first years of his life in Argentina, Rabbi Harf and his wife used to walk around with a pot full of food and distribute it to Jewish refugees newly arrived from Europe. They used to put money aside during the week. Suse, his wife, used to clean houses to get that money. So every Saturday, they could go to a local coffee shop, pay the cost of 15 cups of coffee, and get a room for the Jews of the neighborhood to come and learn Torah. With that stone in his hands and Rabbi Liobek's words in his mind, Rabbi Harf, together with a group of other German Jews, finally founded Congregation NSAI in Buenos Aires. I was born in Buenos Aires in 1982. As it happened, one of my mother's closest friends was Rabbi Harf's daughter. As my family was not very large, ever since I can remember myself, we were invited to share all the Jewish holidays at Rabbi Harf's table. Rabbi Harf, as I knew him, was a never-stopping machine, humble, respectful, loving, and a true spiritual leader. The truth is that I never called Rabbi Harf Rabbi Harf. I knew him by the name of Opa, Chairman for Grandpa. From him I learned the value of the most deeply committed and devoted community living. I also learned what it means to be a shepherd. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because this concept of being a shepherd is until today represented eloquently here at TBT by Rabbi Asa's memory. Interestingly, the Tina, Temple NSAI medicine. I know, yeah, I know. I was a year there. I liked it, but every spare hour I had sharing Jewish values filled me with I'm a rabbi, at the same time, become a rabbi, main educator for my whole life. That was my I got it moment. And the rest is history. I made Aliyah, immigrated to Israel at the end of 2002 with the idea of becoming a rabbinical student at HUC in Jerusalem. On the way, I only had a few small obstacles to cross. Learning Hebrew, I didn't know, I had a few words, achieving a BA, and achieving an MA. I received my BA at Haifa University in Educational Development and Management, and my MA in Jewish Philosophy at the same university. So, with these three things in my hand, Hebrew, BA, and MA, I was finally eligible to become a rabbinical student in HUC, at HUC in Jerusalem. A few years afterwards, I was ordained. I was 4 years there, but I just cutting. I had the opportunity at that moment to share a few words about how I see the rabbinate. And I would like to share some of them with you tonight. Martin Buber explains that each time the word believe appears in the book of Genesis, its meaning, in fact, I trust. Abraham believed in God, thus trusted him. This trust was made possible by and built through dialogue. According to one of the Kabbalistic ideas, the encounter between man and God happens precisely at the point where the existing and the non-existent meet. The given facts meet our hopes and expectations. The Hebrew word for ordination, smicha, means both trusting and sustaining, both receiving and offering support. I said as, I stand here today thanks to faith, but not only mine. It is also the faith of those in whose hands and spirits I am ordained. My parents, my rabbi, my rabbis, my wife. These are the people who knew, as I did, that we don't need to see in order to believe, but rather to believe in order to see. Judaism is for me an aspiration and an attempt to deeply connect to our world and to respond to the Word of God. The God that appears in the dialogue between Him and men, and also in the dialogue among His creations. God that is encountered in the dialogue between the great hope and expectation of the one who is asking and the deep belief and trust of the one who says, I'm here for you. Embracing this faithful dialogue is the force that distinguishes between an empty pretension and full presence. The trust that ordains us, all of us, to respond to the biblical question, Ayeka, which means, where are you? By saying, Hineni, here I am. And today, TVT, Hineni. I stand here and connect myself all the way back to Berlin when Rabbi Liobek gave the stones of destruction to his students and told them to convert the curse into a blessing and to build communities. Hineni, I stand here today, aware of the wonderful rabbinical heritage of this congregation, embodied by the memory of Rabbi Asa, and recognizing in my own background the loving presence of Rabbi Harf. Hineni, I stand here today holding in my heart that stone, which was given to my rabbi as a living legacy. Hineni, I stand here also with the certainty that the congregation is not built by bricks and walls alone, but by our decision to have meaningful relationships and to share our lives. Hineni, I stand here today the same Jewish educator with the same passion to share Torah. Hineni, I stand here today with faith and renewing my own commitment to believe in order to see. Shabbat Shalom.
Say a brief personal word and offer a blessing. Nico, if you remember when I first spoke with you last summer by Skype before you came, I introduced myself and told a little bit about my personal history as a long-time member of the congregation. I tried to be diplomatic and assure you that I didn't have any interest, although I was a rabbi, in doing anything to undermine your authority. But you wouldn't have any of that. You told me, don't even think about that, forget about that, you're not worried about that, whatever I do would be fine. In fact, the more the better. And then you said, do you want to officiate on day 2 of Rosh Hashanah? And we did. I'll sit in the front row and watch. And that was a surprise. But what you showed me, and what you've shown me in the years since, is that what's most important to you is us. What we need, what we can learn from anyone, how you can help us. And I'd like to personally and publicly thank and acknowledge you for being so gracious to me, for treating me as a colleague, for offering me as an opportunity to share the little that I know. So, Todah Rabbah. When Moses died, God spoke to Moses' successor, Joshua. And God charged him as follows. Lo yamush sefer haTorah hazeh mipicha, v'chagita bo yomam v'layla, lema'an tishmor la'asot kechol hakatuv bo, ki az tatzliach et drachecha ve'az taskil. Chalo tziviticha, chazak ve'ematz, al ta'arot ve'al techat, ki imcha Adonai Elohecha b'chol asher telech. Let not this book of Torah cease from your lips, but recite it day and night, so that you may observe faithfully all that is written in it. Only then will you prosper in your undertakings, and only then will you be successful. I charge you, be strong and resolute, proceed with courage and confidence, for Adonai your God is with you wherever you go. It's amazing that you just described for us yourself as a shepherd. Because the blessing that I wanted to ask for you is the following. Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Adonai our God and God of our ancestors, source of all blessing, we pray that the new rabbi of this congregation shall lead it with the blessing of your Spirit. Grant Rabbi Nico a wise heart, candor in speech, the courage to act decisively, and the strength to respond to every challenge with dignity. Give him a full measure of your compassion, that he may be the instrument of your ancient promise, as told by your prophet Jeremiah. V'natati lachem ro'im kelibi v'ra'u etchem dea v'haskel. I will give you shepherds after my own heart, who shall nurture you with knowledge and understanding. And let us say, Amen.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם אלוקינו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם. המלכים הקדוש ברוך שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמה ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו אפס ולטוב כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשב אותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמה ועל הארץ מדאגה אינו ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. At this point of our service, we dedicate a moment for the dear memories of members of our congregation having a yard this week.
And they are Anita Salser, Lucille Eder, Doris Kaplan, Albert Monson, Joseph Sherman, Scott Subeck, Ralph Weinstock, Jeff Gorlick, Betty Green, David Robbins, David Serbin, Shirley Kobrink, Ray Kaplan, Irving Klein, Shoshana Sapria, Loretta Goldman, Benjamin Gordon, Jack Kotkin, Sarah Letterman, Rebecca Weiser, Jan Bart, Edna Bunder, Harry Cutler, Gertrude Fershine, Dorothy Freed, Morris Lampett, Samuel Litt, Howard Malberg, Dolores Spear, Rose Weiner, Mayor Bakir, Michael Fields, Rachel Fields, Richard Fisher, Esther Gelfer, Jack Mandel, Leslie Hirschfeld, Evelyn Altman, and Chaim Trachtenberg, and the Shloshim, the first 30 days, Morris Kirshen, father of David Kirshen, Barbara Suback, sister-in-law of Jane Goodman and aunt of Carrie Klein, Howard Miller, father of Steve Miller, uncle of Natalie Miller, Richard Gorlick, uncle of Michelle Gottlieb, Scott Green, uncle of Gabby Newman, Betty Robbins, mother of Bill Robbins, and Laurie Spielberg, cousin of Lisa Barbarick.
If you are during the first 7 days of mourning, Sheba, please rise. If you are doing the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise. If you are doing the first year of mourning, please rise. If you have a yahrzeit this week, please rise. Now you can join and support our fellows while sitting or standing, joining us for Mourners Kaddish on page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי, בימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, באמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמי אלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, בהתהדר, בהתעלה, בהתעלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם בעלמה באמרו אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיה, בחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו אמן. זיכרונן לברכה, may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. So a few things to say before we continue with our service. There were many people cooking here for tonight's dinner and tomorrow's lunch, and have been seeing people working nonstop. The committee that put it together, people taking specific tasks and jobs. This is such an impressive weekend of community work. And it is a wonderful feeling, a wonderful sense to feel your presence here, your participation in whatever we do, to see you here. That's number one. Number two, Miriam, I need you to confirm what I'm saying, if it is right or not. So I never know. We are getting together after the service for desserts. We're going to do short kiddush and desserts. And afterwards, we get together again for the wrapping with rabbis. So, and I want to acknowledge Stan, David, Risa. Can you just move your hands? So we have rabbis here. We have some rabbis. Where's Art? Art is there. And we'll see if we can rap. I'm not sure about that. We'll try hard. We'll try. But this is, so we had a marketing issue with this night. When I said, let's do a Hasidic tish, they said, no, Hasidic tish is just for male. We cannot publish it this way. So we have the rapping with rabbis. But this is a Hasidic tish. And so we will be sharing some stories and in rapping with rabbis, and we will sing some nigunim. We'll have our musicians. Miriam told me a few weeks ago to present them. So in the flute is Ali, and she's going to be with us in the high holidays. Say hi, Ali. and sitting next to Ali is Elba. You can say hi, Elba, also. And number 3 is Gabi. No. So and they are every Friday with us, and they are going to be with us in the high holidays, and you'll see them tomorrow morning. So make sure that you say hi to them every time. And Canton, I'm not mentioning you. So and nobody else. Well, Cantor, otherwise, and here is Cantor, always Cantor. By the way, I wasn't mentioning him because I wanted to be nice to you. I know that you appreciate when I quiet.
Thank you, Rabbi. I appreciate it.
So that's it. So what we will finalize our service. I will ask you. We have a very nice custom here at TVT. We make sure that we are hugging somebody when we finish our services. So make sure that you are hugging somebody. And you stand up in the service when we finish services, right? So you can stand up. But make sure that you are hugging somebody. We make sure that the warmth is not just a nice idea, it's also a physical symbol. And And if your kids are sitting next to you, make sure that you put your hands over their heads. And if your kids are not here, you can close your eyes and think of them. And if you have no kids, you of course have parents. So you can close your eyes and think of your parents and think of a loving presence in your life. May God inspire you to be like Ephraim and Menashe. May God inspire you to be like Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you. And may God be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence within you always. And may you find peace. Yes. יברכך אדוני וישמרך. יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. And for our girls we say, יברכך אדוני וישמרך. יאר אדוני פניו אלייך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אלייך וישם לך שלום. And we say for everybody, יברככם אדוני וישמרכם. יברככם אדוני וישמרכם. יאר אדוני פניו אליכם ויחונכם. יישא אדוני פניו אליכם וישם שלום. וישם לכם שלום. אדוני עוש לעמו ייתן. אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. שבת שלום.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שרקים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שרקים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שרקים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שרקים